Blessings on you and me as we take a few minutes to study Scripture. And in it, I want to tell you an experience I had years ago that will speak to your heart like it did to mine at the time. I was in the airport here in Florida, waiting on my flight. My wife and a friend were with me, and the airport was quiet. And then they announced that in a few minutes our flight would be boarding. And when they made the announcement, everyone in the building heard this loud shriek. And we all turned and looked in that direction. And off to themselves was a man and a boy about 11 years old and a flight attendant standing next to them. And I told my wife and the friend, I said, that's a divorce. I said, the boy is here with his father. He's now having to fly alone back home. That's the reason that the flight attendant is with him, and he doesn't want to go. He's grieved. And I was right. Well, at any rate, I prayed. I said, Lord, when I get on that plane, I want to be sitting next to that dear boy. And would you believe that's the way it happened? I got on the plane. He had the seat by the window and had his face pressed against the glass. Well, I sat next to him and just put my arm over him and I consoled him and I said, I want you to know something. I know what your problem is and I'm going to be praying for you. He didn't respond. He didn't move at all. But later, we were up in the air, and he was looking out the window. And all of a sudden, he grabbed my arm, and he said, look out the window, look. Well, we were out over the ocean. I looked and saw the most wonderful sight I think I had ever seen. We saw the complete circle of the rainbow. Now, you may or not be aware that the rainbow is not just the bow, but it's actually the complete ring. And that we see our view from Earth only the half. The only way we can see the complete circle is to be up in the air looking down. Now, there's a wonderful message in that fact, that here in this present life, the bow, which is the symbol of God's covenant, in this life, earthbound, we see only half. It's only going to be when we're up there, in effect, with God, looking back, that He's going to be able to show us the complete ring. He's going to make every crooked straight. He is going to dry every tear. He is going to show us the complete circle, which here on earth we could not see. Well, at any rate, I asked the boy, I said, do you know what the rainbow means? And he said, yes. He said, that's God's sign of covenant. He gave that to Noah. He had a little bit of Bible knowledge. And then I asked him, I said, well, tell me about your family. I said, your mom and dad are divorced. And he said, yes. And I said, has your mother remarried? And he answered, 5 times. And I could tell his heart was broken. He was living with a mother who could not be a true mother. She was bouncing around from man to man and not providing a home and security for her son. At any rate, after he and I got to our destination, I hugged him goodbye and told him I was going to be praying for him. Now, today, he's a grown man because that was an event from years ago. But I never forgot the view, phenomenal view of the complete circle of the rainbow. And I want you to get this. That's the reason that in weddings, we give a wedding ring to our partner. It's the sign of covenant. And that's the reason, believe it or not, that in ancient Israel, when God gave the covenant to the Jews, to Israel, He did that with a sign of circumcision. Now, let me just explain that. Circumcision left a circular scar on the father. And every Hebrew child was conceived in the presence of his father's covenant. And this is so vital for us to understand, that we are in not just a casual contact with God, but we are in a covenant relationship with God. And that God intends that covenant to be total and complete in every way. There's so much more to that. The fact that the rainbow contains all the colors of the spectrum. And you know, apparently that means that all the colors of creation are there in the rainbow, in the covenant. Even though our eyes are not capable of seeing all of them, they are still there in that wonderful way. Whenever you get discouraged, remember this: from earth, you're seeing only half of the bow. But when ultimately we are with God looking back, the complete ring, all the mysteries, all the disappointments, all the crisis, all the heartache, all the despair, all of it is going to be explained. All right? God bless you. Receive the word with joy. We'll talk again soon. Bye.